Hey, it's Camo with the Nashville Access Show presented by Solis North Gulch Apartments, where taste matters. We're in the studio today, and as you know, one of my favorite things in the entire world is holding up stuff. So I'm holding up this, and it happens to be the new single from Stephanie Owens, and it's called Slingshot.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, look, it's Stephanie Owens.
Hey.
How you doing? It's so good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I hear cool things about you. Him, not so much, but you.
I don't know, yeah.
The single kills.
Thank you.
It's really good. It's just been out a little while too, hasn't it?
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
September 13th.
Oh, so it's fresh.
It's fresh.
It's a very
New.
fresh single. Where did the idea for the song come from?
Yeah, well, I had been thinking about it for a while. There was like, with the music industry, there's so much up and downs, encouragements, and then valleys. But yeah, and there was some of that, and just
You're
kind of.
great. You suck.
Yeah. Or it's like you get one little glimmer of hope, and you're great for a little bit, and then it's like, okay, I need another glimmer of hope or whatever. But I mean, that's the independent journey, but it's fun. But yeah, so I'd kind of gone through some of those seasons, and just kind of personally, my life, my story. Overcame an eating disorder when I was younger, and just kind of have that comeback mentality with life, but just kind of been in one of those seasons where I felt like I needed like a pick-me-up kind of thing, and I was like, well, you know, all these different things that we're going through, like I can use them and just like propel forward from them and let them be set-ups instead of setbacks, and like look at them that way. So I kind of had the image of Slingshot, and I've always loved the story of David and Goliath in the Bible, and so kind of started brewing that in my mind, and then met actually Evan, and then Melissa, the other co-writer, and I was like, let's write, or Evan was like, we should write, and so we did, and I heard some of his stuff, and so I texted them before the write, and I was like, y'all, I have this idea, and so then we went in the session, it just kind of came out, so yeah.
So you actually brought a co-writer with you.
I did, he helped co-produce it, Evan Klein as well, so.
So you're just not some unemployed guitar player.
No, I think, Steph reached out to me, and I said, and I know just for this specifically, I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I play that? So, yeah.
You know the song already, so.
Totally. Just to speak on that, I remember specifically Steph, before that write, I mean, she knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
Right from the start.
Is that kind of normal going into a write for you, knowing exactly what you want, or do you get in there and it's like, oh, I got an idea, but I don't know if it's any good, and then you kind of go down that trail?
Sometimes it's that, but like I'll go in seasons of writing too. I know everyone's a little different in town, but I'm not one that likes to write like every day or even necessarily every week. If I'm not feeling like I've got a great inspired like mindset, I find, because I'm such a perfectionist, that it does more harm than good. So like trying to work something that's not quite there, if I'm not feeling a little more inspired. I know it's a must, so you got to work on it too, of course. But yeah, so this was more my ideas that I like actually recording. Those are the ones I'm like, yes, I have an idea. So
I know what you're talking about, because when I have to write my blog, it's some days, and I do it every week, and it's some days it's like, I got nothing. But you still have to do it. And you don't have that luxury of being able to say, I'll do it next week.
Yeah.
So it's strange trying to come up with ideas. So I get what you're saying about, and no, I'm not going to write for the sake of writing. Tell us about you. Where are you from, and how did you get here?
So I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia. I was actually born in Illinois, but.
And you don't have webbed toes either, so.
Oh, no, I do not. but born in Illinois.
Oh, well, that's why.
That makes it normal, I guess, yeah. Moved to Virginia when I was 9, Lynchburg, Virginia. That's kind of where I consider home. Okay. My parents still live there. Went to Liberty University, graduated, and condensed it in 3 years, because my parents were like, you can move to Nashville, but get your degree first. So, and definitely wanted to just get that under my belt. So yeah, I did that, moved out to Nashville right after I turned 21. And then, this will be 6 years in November. So. Wow.
So you got 4 years left before you break.
Yes, 4 more years.
And everybody says, where did she come from?
Well, it popped up. No, yeah.
So was it always a dream to come to Nashville? Is that something you knew from very early on?
I always knew I wanted to be a singer. I didn't know if Nashville was necessarily the place. I did a lot of musical theater growing up as well, but singing was the first love. I had a turkey baster, actually, was my microphone, not a hairbrush. Turkey baster, and we had like home videos. I was the couch, and I put the cushions all over the floor and like do my show, like run around the cushions and sing and stuff. So I always knew I wanted to be a singer, but my parents always knew it was coming. They're musicians too, so they've always been supportive. Yeah, but Nashville became more the dream. Like I got a CD from one of my good friends in middle school. She gave me Martina McBride's Greatest Hits album, and that was like the first country album I'd ever had, and that like rocked my world. And I was like, I'm gonna be a country singer. So that was it. Yeah.
That's. I mean, Martina shows up in a lot of influences, but to say that's what changed it. That's...
Her song "Concrete Angel" is like actually like what really made me
really?
go for it. Yeah, because I grew up listening to a lot of Christian music, and I liked that, and I thought I might pursue that route for a while. But hearing that, like, I'm passionate about being able to speak in people's lives that aren't necessarily listening to Christian music or things like that, and just being able to give hope in those different areas. And so I heard that song, and it was so real and raw, and the emotion in it, it just made me fall in love with like the storytelling and talking still about real life things, but being able to like bring some light into situations. So yeah.
So that inspired you as a singer. Did it inspire you as a writer?
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I wrote little songs when I was 7 and 8 years old. I think I still have the notebook paper. I don't remember how they sound, but anyway, they were written down somewhere. But yeah. But I think that moved my mind in a different way, and like being able to convey emotion into words and then mesh that with the melodies. I was thinking more of like, okay, you write rhymes and blah, blah, blah. But I think that was more of like you can really put some solid lyrics behind things. And yeah, so I think that definitely changed it.
I always talk to people about songs, the song that first helped them understand that you could create pictures. And was that the one then for you? See, for me, it was Saturday in the Park by Chicago.
Okay.
Because you could picture the guy selling ice cream, and you could, it was just such a visual song to me. And I think I was like 8 years old. No, came out in 72. I was 11 when that came out.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
This is what a song is all about.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's just been pursuing that since then for you. Wow. You want to do a song for us, and then we'll talk some more?
Sure.
Cool.
Do you want to hear the new one, or do you want to hear a different one first?
Let's do the new one. So
All
we're
right.
talking about Slingshot.
Perfect.
You're watching the Nashville Access Show with Camo and my guest Stephanie Owens, who's her brand new single, Slingshot.
Before the comeback, baby. Maybe the underdog, but I'm gonna rise up. I'm breaking down my walls, bring on the lions. I'll take your stones, I'll take your sticks. I'm gonna show you what I got, gonna bounce back. I'm a slingshot. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm a diamond in the rough, put the pressure on, shaking off the dust. Oh, I'm a fighter, pushing through the pain makes a person strong. Knock me off my feet and I'll swing back harder. All the negativity ain't gonna get the best of me. Don't judge this kid, 'cause I'm a comeback, baby. Maybe the underdog, but I'm gonna rise up. I'm breaking down my walls, bring on the lions. I'll take your stones, I'll take your sticks. I'ma show you what I got, gonna bounce back. I'm a slingshot. Whoa,
cool. And I said it again. I said the word cool again. I gotta stop saying that. But no, it was very cool.
Thank you.
You're even in that Martina range. You've got that range for her.
She helped me learn how to sing too, I think. So.
Do you think this is a real message for people?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I mean, you're told you can, use things and just keep pushing forward, but this is not a song that I want to be viewed as, and it wasn't written in a revengeful way. Things happen to you and they knock you off your feet. And sometimes it's us. Sometimes we get in our heads and we let things set us back. But I think if you, for instance, with the story of David and Goliath, which is where a lot of this inspiration came from for me, he was the underdog. He was the youngest of his brothers, and he was this youth, and Goliath, this big giant, is like, I'm gonna rip you guys and feed you to the birds or whatever, and he comes out there with this slingshot, this little kid, and just goes for it, and he doesn't let fear stand in the way, and he believes, he has faith that he can do it, and what God tells him he can do, he goes after it, and so I think he just let that propel him forward, and then he ends up being king, even though he was the youngest of his brothers and not supposed to, he's out feeding sheep, and so I think present day us, we might feel like the underdog, we might not have all the cards stacked or all the whatever people say, or but we can use the things that set us back or those things that were viewed as an underdog and just let that keep pushing and just see where you go. And it's not even about who wins at the end of the day, but it's that journey. Yeah.
You gotta wonder if David had a mother that said, "Don't play with that. You'll put somebody's eye out."
Yeah, probably. It's you're just killing lions again out there, but it's then save the nation. But
Don't play with that. You'll put an eye out. So, talking to you, your faith really comes through in your music. Mm-hmm. Is that something you outright intend to do with people? Is use your faith for that?
It is. Yeah. I feel like I've been given a story and a message, and for me, the Lord changed my life. And so, not that I'm going to be talking about it in all my songs per se, but that definitely is who I am, where I get my identity, so that spills out into all that I do. And I've found great hope and peace in the Lord, and so if others can see that too, that's what I love. So, yeah, but my music is a way for me to express that as well.
Do you think there's a little girl at home hearing your song, singing into it, turkey baster?
I hope so.
Singing along with it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because that's you always see the people. For me, it was Martina, and then I still love Carrie Underwood when I saw her on Idol, and just seeing them use their songs and being able to reach people with them in different ways and touch people and inspire them. So yeah, I definitely hope to do that.
What's the most fun for you? Is it the songwriting process, the studio process, or getting out and playing in front of people?
Definitely playing in front of people.
Yeah.
I love working the stage. I kind of go a little crazy sometimes. If I don't stretch out, I'm ooh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm just a little sore because I just love dancing and doing stuff. So connecting with people, and that's where I feel like I can look into people's eyes. So that's definitely my favorite part.
Are any of the elements of the business tedious for you?
Being an independent artist, you're wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah.
So I would say just that fact, but I guess I've never shied away from the administrative type stuff. My brain actually kind of works that way. I've got a part-time sales job, work from home, and my brain's kind of just like that. So that doesn't scare me too much. It's just wearing all of the hats. So you have a lot of stuff to juggle.
and like you say, that's the root of an independent artist these days. You have to be your booking agent, your producer, writer, director. Everything has to come from you.
Yeah.
And even when you're working with solid producers, it's still very much your baby.
Yeah. And
Instead
for
of
me,
just handing it over and saying, you do it.
Yeah. And for me, it's hard too, because I trust Evan, I trust Brad, the other producer, and things, but I'm so perfectionistic. Sometimes I need to take a step back because I'm too hands on. Even sometimes when we were finishing up the actual record, I was are you sure we should change that just a little bit? Is that perfect? He was yeah, you're good. So
I think it speaks to your testament, though. You know what you want, and I think we did everything we could to get it as perfect as we could.
It's hard to say where you keep your hands on. Have you ever seen how Steely Dan produced their Asia album? I mean, those guys were micromanaging everything and hiring different singers to sing the same line, and then they'd use the one that got the best sound that fitted them. They heard it in their head, that's what they wanted. Get the right singer. Is it Michael from the Doobie Brothers? You know, who is it?
Yeah.
So that's cool. You want to do another song?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do a little Girl in the Mirror. This was behind my eating disorder kind of recovery story from my first EP. So yeah, little Girl in the Mirror.
She was strong, she was brave. There was nothing that could stand in her way. Took on the world with wild curls, a fearless smile, and mama's lipstick on her face. Between the big dreams and the sweet 16, I lost her. Staring in the mirror, wishing you were here, but all of the voices keep pushing you down until you're quiet, stranded in the silence. Am I ever gonna find you again? I'm tired of trying so hard to be what everybody else wants me to be. So now I'm fighting for the girl, little girl in the mirror. I still feel scared, I still feel small. Always find a way to hide behind my walls. Pretend I'm fine, with painted eyes, fake a smile, and never let them see me fall. There's a reflection of somebody that I once knew. I need a breakthrough. Staring in the mirror, wishing you were here, but all of the voices keep pushing you down until you're quiet, stranded in the silence. Am I ever gonna find you again? I'm tired of trying so hard to be what everybody else wants me to be. So now I'm fighting for the girl, little girl in the mirror. I miss you. Staring in the mirror, wishing you were here, but all of the voices keep pushing you down until you're quiet, stranded in the silence. Am I ever gonna find you again? I'm tired of trying so hard to be what everybody else wants me to be. So now I'm fighting for the girl, little girl in the mirror.
Very nice. Your music is really, it's intensely personal. I mean, to do a song, kind of inspired by your eating disorder. That's not something that you think, wow, that's going to be a pop hit.
Yeah, I just think it's something that people can resonate with and come into terms. Like, it was 11 to 14 when I struggled, but like, especially getting up to 20 and kind of moving to Nashville, and like, you can write what other people are writing. Like, you can do that all day long, but I don't think that necessarily will touch people in the long run if it's just the same thing they're hearing over and over. And so I have a story for a reason, and body image is a huge deal in our world, and social media obviously tells us what we're supposed to look like and be and do and everything. So yeah, so I've never been I have a problem just kind of talking about what I think and stuff. So, and I talk anyway, so I'm an open book. So yeah, I don't mind sharing my story, and hopefully it can inspire other people to be able to know it's okay to not be okay, and to get help if they need it. So yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do something. You're our first victim with this.
Okay.
We spared no expense.
Oh boy.
It's a brand new feature on the show called Asked and Answered. So we put it to our viewers all around the world to send us questions.
Nice. I like this.
They're non-specific artist questions, so you could end up with a guy question and you still have to answer it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to take the lid off, and you're going to reach into the very attractive Nana's cookie jar.
Perfect.
And pull out a question.
Oh, that's two. Okay.
There you go. Let's see here.
There we go.
All right, this one comes from Constance in Dallas, Texas. Who is your favorite singer?
I'm going to say Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I get asked the follow-up question.
You just thought.
Yeah.
I think she, after seeing her on American Idol and just kind of how her live shows, she's an awesome entertainer. And I think that has inspired me a lot in a lot of ways. Just vocally, she's excellent, and on stage, she's excellent. And so I think for me, that makes a great package when she not only sounds like the record live, but she can like do a show. So yeah, I'd say Carrie.
Cool. Thanks for your question, Constance.
Yeah.
If we had a prize, we'd be mailing it out to you.
I'm sorry, Constance.
But take comfort in knowing your question came out of this very attractive Nana's cookie jar. Another question for you.
Yeah.
You are about to embark on your first major headlining tour. Who do you have opening for you?
That's a good question.
They all say that.
Yeah. Well, opening for me. I don't know if I know anybody. I feel like I'm still a newbie in some ways.
Yes, but this is my first major headline.
This is my first major headline. Okay, have you heard Seaforth, their music?
I've heard of the name, but I haven't heard
Okay,
of
they're awesome. They have a sick sound.
We are
I don't know.
Seaforth.
Yeah, we are Seaforth. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're really cool. So obviously they already have a deal, I'm sure, but I don't have a deal. So, but if I was on a headlining tour, I would ask those guys, see if they're cool people, and I'm sure they are in person. But yeah, I would take somebody that I like their personalities and stuff. They seem fun. So yeah, and I love their music. So I would say them actually.
We are Seaforth?
Yeah.
All right.
Go check out their music.
Check them out.
They're awesome.
Stephanie Owens, the new single is Slingshot. How can people get in touch with you, follow you?
Yeah, social media at Steph Owens Music. Very active on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter. Message me, I message back. So then StephOwensMusic.com, and it's on all the digital outlets everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon.
The single will be on the Nashville Access Show 2019 playlist. So
awesome. Thank
we'll
you.
get that up there so people can stream it and
Thank
go check it out. Request it tons.
Yes.
On
Please
your
do.
radio stations, and go stream it like 2 million times so she can afford to make another single.
Yeah.
Or just buy it and just make life easier. Thanks for being here, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming and playing for us.
Of course.
And,
Thank you guys.
Come back again sometime.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right. Stephanie Owens, make sure you check her out. The new single is called Slingshot. Thanks for watching the Nashville Access Show. Make sure you catch me every Thursday morning on 88.9 Tamworth Radio in Tamworth, Australia with Jody Crosby and John Wolfe. And every Sunday afternoon from midday on Chris Country all across the UK following the Bobby Bones Show. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.